let's calm down and tell you about how John became sock buddies
Yes.
with President Bush. So we're back in the spring of 2017, and we saw an article in the paper about how the former president, liked to wear crazy and colorful socks. What'd you say?
I want to tell him about the stocks.
So this is John right before he went to the post office with the box we sent to the former president.
I say it all the time.
Right, he does say that a lot. We should send him socks. So we send these socks to the president, and you never know. Well, sometime later, we got a call from his office saying the president loved those socks and he wants more. He wants to buy some more. It was good that he wanted to buy them.
Right.
And then he sent John some socks. And on World Down Syndrome Day in 2018, this is what the president tweeted out.
Yeah, he tweeted out, and he wear my Dinosaur superhero socks, and he tweeted out. I did it on March 21st.
We eventually moved the Bush School into situations now as a standalone unit, but he didn't order it. He was kind enough to understand that I was the person that's supposed to make the decisions, not him, and he wasn't going to impose his views on me because of that. But he brought to our campus an enormous number of people. The dedication of and I guess in '97 was like every politician in North America and Canada, a lot of Europe and everything else.
Everyone on the plane is asleep except for me and George Clooney. This was my moment. So I did say to him, I asked him why he came. I said, I'm just curious. You don't know him. You don't know, your politics are a little different, and why did you come? And his answer, he's a good man. He said, I was impressed that he was in Cameron, Louisiana, where there's no cameras, no lights, no attention. He said, I never heard of Hurricane Rita. He said, no one knew about this. He said, I was so impressed that George Bush was trying to help this little town, Louisiana. I wanted to be a part of it. Needless to say, this went viral, and they raised a ton of money.
I throw this next one in just because, that was the ceremonial part, and somebody read the citation, and they did do that. But then he's hugging on the kids, and my wife, Paula. Just the human touch and care of a guy with these responsibilities was genuine. President George Bush, the namesake of your school, be proud of what you're doing and do him proud with what you take from these experiences.
I was asked to step down as coach here at the end of my career. And so we go out and we sit at a little small table in the back of Shadow Hawk. So in just a few minutes, he says, I want you to know I know how you're feeling right now. He said, I worked my whole adult life trying to get ready to become president of the United States. And I thought I was ready, and I got elected. And I thought I was doing a good job. And they booted me out of there. And he said, I know how you feel. I think you were doing a good job. But he said, I know how you feel, and I want to encourage you. I know how those feelings are, but I want to encourage you to take the high road. And he said, I've tried to do that. And, he's crossed over lines. I think he was a great example in his life after the presidency of how he reached out, and he and President Clinton going to work and relief efforts together. And he was above all those stuff,
Dad had a vision for the Bush School of training mostly young people to be of service to their community, to the nation, through nonprofit work or through working with government and that kind of thing. And to see this school over the past 25 years, and especially accelerated, Mark, under your leadership, to see the school graduate so many students, the highest percentage of any university in America that go into service, is something that he was extremely proud of.